Mm. What up, YouTube Live? Is this bright enough? It's too bright. Anyways, whew, YouTube live streaming. What's up? So I just got done watching The Walking Dead season 8, episode 8, aka mid-season finale. This video contains spoilers. I want to share with you my thoughts, my reaction, my response to that episode. The title is How It's Gotta Be. And I have some notes here, and follow along with me if you have seen the episode. So it starts out with, Rick finding out that somebody rammed the truck into Negan's sanctuary. That was not part of the plan, and that got Rick very pissed off. But right off the gate, we saw the scavengers whom Rick struck a deal with last episode. All of a sudden, it's just like, phew, they run away. They cower away. Wow, I was, at that moment, I was like, oh, so much for that deal. See, you can't rely on the scavengers. I just don't get why Rick keeps hoping that the scavengers would help them out. They either betray Rick or they leave him behind, like what happened this evening. So Carol picks up Rick, and that didn't turn out well. Long story short, excuse me, whew, I just had dinner. Negan fights back. Negan retaliates. Now, before I get to that part, there was a flashback of Rick talking with Carl, his son. And Carl seems to have a similar ideology or philosophy as Jesus, because Jesus keeps some of the Savior's people in captive instead of killing them all. He kept them prisoners, which is debatable. At one point, I guess you gotta be some kind of humane to these people. Jesus got some point in this argument about, well, after the war, we have to live with these people. But the counter argument will be like, well, if you wipe them out, you don't have to live with them. But anyway, so Carl seems to have that humanity as well, where I guess he doesn't think that there's no sense in killing all the saviors. So how I saw it when that happened, that flashback, it seems that within Rick's group, there were differences of opinions of what to do with Negan and the saviors. And that's odd. It seems that is something that evolved. Like, I don't think that's how it was in the beginning. I think at the beginning, they were all on the same page. They were all on Rick's plan. But, they evolve in the way they think with regards to the saviors. Some of them showed mercy. Some of them showed, maybe we should give them a chance. Maybe we can reason with them. Some of them don't want to do that. In the case of Daryl, and in the case of Maggie, some of them, like Maggie, can be persuaded to consider both sides. But, they're not on the same Rick's plan anymore by this point. So anyway, fast forward, Negan fights back. Negan retaliates. By the way, I want to make a comment before I move on to my next note. Because post-apocalyptic world is, there's no street light, there's no such a thing as street lights, and there's not enough power or electricity in the night. When it gets dark, it gets really, really dark. There were times when, the nighttime scenes, I would have to like brighten the screen on my laptop to see what the hell's going on, because it's so freaking dark, man. I can't see a damn thing. Now Carl, there's a big emphasis on Carl, and remind you, this video contains spoilers, okay? Spoiler alert. I will be spilling some spoilers here. So Carl thinks he can reason with Negan, and that at first that pisses me off. When Carl was up on the gate, and Carl was being the spokesperson of Alexandria, trying to negotiate with Negan, that situation pisses me off because I'm like, dude, how many times like do we need to, I don't know, fool ourselves into thinking that we could save or reason with Negan? Like, really, really. Maybe Negan has his human side, but he's too far gone, in my opinion. Maybe that makes me a less liberal than I thought I was. But characters like Negan is like for example, Gregory. Gregory is also too far gone. I don't think he should be killed off, but you know, to expect that Gregory could change is just foolish. It's like to expect pigs to fly. I don't know what's the comparison. So when Carl was trying to reason with Negan, that scene when Carl's up on the gate, that was like, oh my god, this kid is so dumb. What is he thinking? He thinks he's got the leadership skill. Damn it. But turns out, you know, he has some point, and he was kind of stalling some time, and he did right by Alexandrians in a way that Carl did a wise move of getting Alexandrians to hide to their hideout, and I thought that was smart on his part. So he's not. So my fury at him, you know, lessens throughout the episode as it gets revealed that, okay, this kid's heart is in the right place, basically. Oh, quick note that I have about Eugene. Holy shit. I think Eugene might be the smartest guy alive in the history of, characters on the history of TV, because freaking A, man. The sanctuary, the Savior's place, is crawled with the dead. And for some reason, Eugene got them out. That is just brilliant. Eugene is the Savior's secret weapon. If I were Rick, I would regret not being able to, I don't know, keep Eugene on my side, you know. But Eugene did the right thing this evening by letting Father Gabe go with the doctor. Even though he didn't see it as doing the right thing, Father Gabe is saying, you're doing the right thing right now. Eugene's trying to come up with some logic way to rationalize it instead of, you know, taking that compliment. So, as I said in the previous episode, or last week video, Eugene is one of my favorite characters. His arc is so fascinating. He's so complex. He has full of depth, and he's one of those people that on this show, on The Walking Dead, that I would like to see survive till the very end. We also saw this tonight, Dwight, the rat, the snitch, inside the Saviors. He finally took a stand, took a side, by going against his own group, the Saviors. So now, you know, he's all in with, even though all in meaning not, it doesn't mean that Daryl and Daryl's friends trust Dwight, but Dwight obviously now is with Daryl and Rick's group. So, okay, the last note that I want to make before I close this video is that I don't know if you agree with me, but this is the same old song, and it's gotten pretty old. And by that I mean, you know, in the mid-season finale tonight, they blow up Alexandria. You know, they blow up all the houses. And we had that episode before, you know, when they stormed the prison, when the prison got, you know, run over by the governor. So I understand why there are haters out there who think that The Walking Dead has run out of ideas. So all they do is just bringing in another dictator, either the governor or Negan, and then they would set Rick's group in a location for a lengthy period of time, and then that place will eventually get blown up, and Rick's group would relocate to another place, and then the same cycle again when the next bad guy arrives, and then they would have to blow up that place too. So that's what I meant by the same old song. We've gone through this before. Um, with the governor before, now with Negan, and it seems that with all this war, it's all about who currently has the upper hand. So there would be episodes when it seems that Rick's group that has the upper hand. It's like, oh my god, and our hopes get we get our hopes up. It's like, oh my god, they're close to winning, and then boom, all of a sudden, either the governor or Negan in this case, you know, switches the situation and they get the upper hand, and then the next time Rick will get the upper hand, and by the time season 8, and then probably dies, and then Rick's gonna win again, and then the beginning of season 9, there'll be a new villain, and then So yeah, I understand why some people out there think that The Walking Dead's glory days, well, The Walking Dead's true glory days, are behind. Like it's way past. Um, that the show is basically just redoing the whole thing all over again, the same thing all over again. So I totally get it. Why do we keep watching? I guess in my case, I like the philosophies that the show brings up. Um, I know that George A. Romero, the godfather of zombies, may he rest in peace, his criticism of The Walking Dead, he once said that it's basically just soap opera with zombies, and he's not incorrect. He's not wrong. Um, the drama part, at least to me, in my opinion, that's the one that hooks me. Especially tonight, there'll be moments where they're questioning each other or where they're questioning themselves. So the philosophies and the ideologies, the uh, the self introspection that often happens on this show, that to me, that aspect is fascinating. Otherwise, I probably would have left the show a long time ago because, as I said earlier, it's the same damn old song. Last but not least, Rick versus Negan fight. That was disappointing. That was so weak. What the what the fuck, man? You had Rick versus Negan, and it ended like what in freaking 3 minutes. I was like, dude. Although Rick had one thing right though, Negan never shuts the hell up. But uh, to in defense of Negan, it's smart because Negan is basically pulling what I think is a Muhammad Ali strategy. Even though Muhammad Ali is not a bad guy, or was not a bad guy. But Muhammad Ali's strategy in that Negan gets in your head when he talks. He would brings up your weakness. He would brings up your guilt. So in your fight with him, you know, you would already be compromised, your psyche, or psychologically, and that would be easier for him to bring you down. So that's what I call the Muhammad Ali strategy, because that's what Ali usually did uh, in the boxing ring. He would talk a lot to his opponent. He wouldn't shut the hell up, and that's what Negan does. But yeah, that fight could have lasted a little bit longer, I think. Uh, I know that it would not have resulted in either one of them getting killed tonight, but I wanted to see some action, man, bam, between those two. So who knows? Maybe the next time it'll be in the light instead of the dark. As I said earlier, it's just too damn dark. There's no electricity in the post-apocalyptic world. So maybe it's a good thing that the fight tonight ended really quick. But the next time it should happen in the daytime, and it should happen a little longer. Last note. Fuck, dude. Carl, they kill off Carl? Really? Okay, so have you read the comic books? I haven't read this far. Is this how Carl died in the comic books? Can somebody out there, can any of you tell me, is this how Carl dies in the comic book? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the way the show tonight kills off Carl? Because I think it's weak. It's not a good way to go out. Sorry, my Wi-Fi. I don't know. I didn't feel that much effect when Carl shows his wound. You know, when Lori died, when Shane died, when Glenn died, I was like, you know, as a fan, I was like half devastated. I was like really, really impacted. But with Carl dying tonight, I don't know, man. I guess I didn't feel a thing. Unless that little girl that was hanging out with Aaron, the little girl that shot the grandma tonight, that grandma from the group Oceanside, I believe. You know, that girl has some romance with Carl. If she had been around tonight with Carl, I think that would have had a more, you know, emotional effect. As opposed to just Rick and Michonne, you know, beholding Carl. So, I don't know. What did you guys feel saddened by the revelation of Carl, you know, not making it out? So, let me know your thoughts, because I thought it could have been more. It could have had more kick to it. Share your thoughts about it. That's about it. Those are my notes of The Walking Dead mid-season 8 finale. Overall, it was not impressive. They are just prolonging this whole Negan thing. Man, Jesus must be feeling very stupid right now for holding those saviors prisoners. Jesus must feel very stupid right now for thinking that the saviors can be saved or their souls can be salvaged somehow. This all could have been prevented had Rick's group wiped out the saviors early on. I know that makes me sound like a bad guy. Maybe, you know, that would make me less of a liberal, but some characters are just too far gone. They've just made their choice, you know. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out when Valentine's Day weekend comes around. That's when season 8 picks up again. So thanks for tuning in for my thoughts about The Walking Dead mid-season 8 finale. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And please subscribe to my channel. Share this video with all your friends on the YouTubeverse. And if you can, if you're willing to, please support me at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. $2 per month, you know, that's like buying me a coffee or whatnot. Very cheap. That's all I need to keep this channel going. Oh, excuse me. I've been coming down with the flu. All right. Stick around for my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi on Tuesday. Let's rock this.